Firstly, we want to say that this is a disaster. This is a natural problem. It's not man-made. It was not anticipated by anyone. It requires all of us to act. The community, government, including the private sector, to see how we can bring relief to the people affected. The people are affected in different ways. Children cannot go to school. People who require medical attention cannot get it from clinics. People who must go to work cannot go to work. Communities cannot do their daily chores. So it has affected a number of people. Even ambulances cannot get access to go and fetch the sick, to take them to places where they'll get medical attention. So it is a serious matter. We as government, we want to do everything possible, of course within the parameters of the law, to ensure that we provide assistance to people. Firstly, those who are in waterlogged situations, to try and relocate them to places where they can have sleeping accommodation. And then there'll be those who may need blankets, who may need food and so on. So we want to provide those. And then there'll be a need for some evacuation, totally creating a new home, a new house for people whose houses have been damaged beyond repair. But the other challenge is to look at measures where we can divert the water or dam the water before it reaches communities. So there are a number of efforts we are involved in. We have reached, people have been accommodated in the hall. Sometimes community members will feel that they are safe, but the next day when they wake up, they are in the situation where they must leave their homes and go somewhere. So we are monitoring the situation as it develops. We can't say, we have provided assistance today and people are satisfied, are happy, because you don't know what will happen the next day. To avoid this type of calamity, catastrophe, we have to think very seriously about where people establish their settlements. We have to do thorough studies. People in this area were resettled here during times of forced removals, when the South African government was trying to consolidate what was called Reportage. And people were settled here without proper planning, without proper assessment of the land, the flood lines and so on. So we need really in the future to do proper planning before we establish new settlements, be they tribal villages, be they new townships.
Seemo sa rona se bokete go ramile thata re le baagi go ya ka mokgwa e leng goreng metsi a ile a re tlhagela ka teng, a feletsa tsene mo gare ga matlo a rona thata metsi a tlhagang fa la tsena mo go nna motswedi wa teng o fetang mo gare ga ntlo aka o fetela ko morago. So se ke se bone se le bokete thata mo gona ke mo family-ing yaka. Ga rena bolao, malao go tlhakolobile, TV di senyegile ke metsi, di-fridge di senyegile, di-old drops go senyegile, di senyegile ko tlase di thubegile. So se mo se sa fasele ga re pota ka dikoloi tsa ka di mo metsing sa mile kgwebo ya ka thata. Mo godimo ga mo ke kolota dikombi tse pedi tse le gore di mo sekolotong, matsapa tsone ke gore yaanong ga di kgone go pusha di-installment because ka bogale ga di kgone go tswa mogare ga metsi a makana-kana. Ke setse ke dikolobe di ka ba 16 gore 30 ka gore no yana ke bona only 5 go tloga maabane. Dikoko ne ke na le koko tse ka bang bo ma 48, 9 ke bona ko tse tharo e nngwe ke ntse ke bona e palame haleng e ka re ya swalone ka re ke yone ya bofelo ga go sala tse pedi. So ka mantswe a mang fale setse ile go dilo tsa ka bontsi ba tsone di swileng tse di tsamaile le metsi ke kgone go itse gore ka ma a dile kwa tse di shotse mo metsing kolobe tse dingwe di tsaletse modimo e nngwe ne tse 9 kolobenyana tse di bolelwe ke metsi because di tsaletse mo metsing e le gore ke tla ke thusa ko tlong ga bosigo go bosa metsi a mantsi a la setsa kgamile di kolobenyana ke ne ke sa we gore di a go letsa ditsitsi e nngwe go shwile 7 ya tsone di kolobenyana go tswa mo bo go shwa tse di tonna tse di eme mo dihokong go tletse metsi ha e kgone gore ba ya di phanyega maotwana because di dutse almost 3 weeks mo teng ga metsi e ka no yana ke 4 months ke le mo teng ga metsi ale se ke ile ka se itumela ke go bona majora a itlha ke ene motho a ntla go tla go fitlha mo teng ga lelapa laka mo ke tele pele e yotlhe ke ene motho a ntla itlha mo la tla go bona seemo se a ba bitsa seemo se se bitseng fa ga bitsa tona kgolo gore a tla go bona.
Reality is that we were here yesterday, as we have been in other days. We brought all government departments, we brought engineers. I had 5 engineers here. They made a kind of a laptop on foot kind of an assessment, but they've requested 3 more days to do a thorough assessment to establish where this volume of water is coming from. Because it's volume of water. It's been days since it rained here, but the volume of water that still comes here, it's very heavy and very high. So my engineers are working on that. However, what they told me, what they could see, is that this water is coming from various other villages from Budibe, coming this side, Brooksby and others. So it's ponds that are interconnected and are channeled towards each other. So they are saying we must try to go at the far end of the village to intercept the water and redirect it away. Reality is that it's a heavy price we are going to pay. First, the price to try and relocate the people, it's exorbitant. I don't know whether we are going to afford it if we try that route, because it's not only this village, the neighboring village of Makospan, Lombartslachte, Brooksby, Witpan 1 and 2. It's an interconnection of villages that are sitting on the same topography, that are affected the same way. So we're sitting here at Deelpan, but I can't access Makospan next door because it's even worse. So you can't relocate. It's thousands of people. It's going to cost billions. So we will have to invest in some kind of an infrastructural project to try and divert the water. It's unfortunate where the people are residing. It's a low level kind of an area, and therefore all water coming from high areas come here. It converges here. It can't move away, and that's why all the water in the households that we have seen is knee high. It's not subsiding. It's terrible.
My name is Tapiwa Marima. I'm the Senior Liaison Officer at Gift of the Givers. Currently we are in Deelpan. We just received a phone call yesterday at night for an emergency that has been happening here. So quickly, the first thing in the morning, we rush here. So basically, at the moment we are doing assessment, we are finding out, yes, the situation is really in need. The community is in dire need. I think the most painful thing is that the water is stagnant. So it's not moving, and I think there is really need for evacuation plan, and also to provide the necessary, basic items such as hygiene, your food aid, because some people already moved from their homes already. We visited a couple of homes, then we see that people are trying to get the water out of the the homes, but it does not make sense, and it's irrelevant because the water is still coming out from the ground, going under the foundation, and still go back to the same place that they're trying to get out. So the only way is to to assist with disaster management, to put an evacuation plan so that people are maybe to be put in a place of safety, while we are looking at a better plan for the future. So at this current moment, we are going to be talking to disaster management and advise them definitely to devise an evacuation plan. that will be definitely suiting for the people, because you know the winter is coming, it's starting to be cold, people are going to be very, very cold, especially kids. You know, a lot of, you know, we already heard that 2 pregnant women have already lost, you know, the pregnancy already. That is an indication already that something needs to be done immediately. And the good thing is that we have got premiers, we've got ministers here at this current moment. So we're going to be just going on an meeting now to find what is the way forward, so that we don't delay, you know, the aid that we're going to be providing to the people.
Nna ke nna Tshepo Tefo, ke molemorui wa ko Luipane teng gaufi le Deelpan mo Babelspan. Le nna ke amegile thata ke dipula tse di neleng go riana ke tshwanegile gore ke tswe ko polasing, dikgomo a di sana mo di fulang teng, metsi a tletse ka polase, the whole 440 hectares, 95% imo flooding, metsi a tletse. So there's no even storage for my livestock, small and large livestock, chickens. My vegetables le tsone di coverilwe, so there's a great loss. Go na le ditshenyegelo tsa bo fence e wele e digilwe ke metsi, di merogo ntse ke lema ko polasing le one e mo tlase ga metsi, di bowl tse re di epileng le tsone di tikeditswe ke metsi, le mo dikgomo di nwa metsi teng a o tlhola bone yanong gore ba ke tsele malwetsi a leng gore a dirile gore gone yanong mo di small livestockong setse ke lositse over 75. Hane ke bala this morning a re le ko polasing we had 4 more goats tse nediswa, so we are just counting. So we've used all the medicine, re tswa go di veteng ba tlile go a bontsha gore pula e ha ya re tlela fela ka di floods e tlisitse le malwetsi. So lefapha le ka ela tlhoko gore di pasture specialist ba ye go sheba sentle mo dikampeng gore dikgomo le di small livestock di ja eng se se etsang malwetsi, gore ke itemogetse gore tsaka e kare di wa boboa or di vomita something very yellow. So re santsane re sa itse mara re tswa go di isa le ko dingake, mme tsone di tsweletse go swa. So tota pula e re tliseditse matlhotlhapelo mo ne re santsane re ikry-a rege sentle teng, ke mo yanong di re buseditse gape ko morago-rago. Nka ipitsa farmer who's farmless gone yanong ka lebaka la gore farm ya ka e tekile over ke metsi. Gona no ke batla go lemoga thata puso ya Bokone Bophirima, ke bone very big support. A sala letsatsi le ne ke reporta this thing ha ba khale ko polasing ba ntse ba tla ka mefuta le di office tsa bone, ba santsana ba ile go itsheba. Ke tsa gore ha ba feditse go itsheba go tla nna le tharabollo e namatsang, ka gore gone ga se ka ga nnaela le diphologolo matsholo a tsona mo kotsing yaka di sena mo di ka dulang sentle di phutulogile. So ke tsa re puso ya Bokone Bophirima e na le bokgoni bo e mpontshitse itseela ke lla ke ba simolla batla from senior departments to junior departments ba tla fela yalo yanong ke a leboga gore if mo decision tse ba di tsayang di ka nna tse di mosola for nna as a young farmer le for diphologolo.
Yes, I did phone the Minister of Culture to inform her about the situations that we find ourselves in Deelpan and other areas that we could not go. We facing the similar situation, that the expansion of the national disaster is doable because it's a national disaster declaration, and any area that goes into a flood or drought under these circumstances, it then gets expanded, and then they will be included in the list so that the national response can also come in. And the national technical teams will then be coming to the northwest also to join the provincial and the municipalities to further assess the damage and then the situation. But also it then becomes easier for the province then to also call for help from the National Defence Force through the net joints, and therefore the Premier will be dispatching a letter tonight to then indicate that these are the areas that are affected, and definitely the support and the help that the community so deserve will then be expanded to the northwest affected areas. So that is the latest development and the news. The minister just asked me, please send as many pictures as possible because the president had to cancel Port St. John. The technical team went there, they found nothing. And so a few hours before, the president says, why should I go there? But here, at least I was here, I saw it, and I did walk where the communities are walking through, and then just to see everyday life. Some have shoes, some don't have shoes. You have to climb on top of rocks, and sometimes it's slippery. How many people have fallen there? The old people can walk there, The people with disability can't walk, so it means they are confined to their homes. I'm lucky I've got these gun boots, so they are protecting my feet. But there are those who don't even have them. So these are the situations that we have seen, and I think it's a deserving situation that needs national focus.